I am Benoit the author of Nostradamus 2242, Judgment Day, Nostradamus Code Revealed. In this brief video, I'm going to show how Nostradamus revealed his code. The most important is the letter of dedications of his prophecies. He wrote two letters, one addressed to his son Caesar in 1555, and the other one to Henry II, King of France, in 1557. Now, those letters are the most important documents that Nostradamus wrote, and most scholars have not really analyzed these letters, and I did. Now, if we start with the letter to Caesar, incidentally, Caesar, his son, was only 6 years old at the time when this letter was addressed. He stated that I compose books of prophecy containing each 100 astronomical quatrains of prophecy, which I wanted a little bit to set obscurely, and are perpetual come and go from here to the year 3797. Now, he added also that people seeing this number will be raising their eyebrow, meaning that literally we don't have to take this number as such. So now, if we take from here, which is 1st of March 1555, the date of the letter, to 3797, subtracting these two numbers, the difference is 2242. And we will see later how this number come to play. Now, also, he mentioned in his letter that, furthermore, in Caesar's letter, Nostradamus states that we are in the seven number of thousand that is to achieve all. So he's got also a system of 7,000 years for the definition of time. Now, if you take that number of 2242, subtract that from 7,000, you will get a number of 4,758. Now, let's retain that number, 4,758. And now let's go to the letter of dedication addressed to the King of France in 1557, so 2 years later, and that's when he dedicated all of his prophecies in quatrain. In that letter, he mentioned a couple of chronologies. The first chronology, it is from like Adam up to Christ, and divided in several periods, with arbitrary numbers because they do not correspond to the reality, the historical reality. When we add these numbers to each other, we get a total of 4,758, which is basically the birth of Christ, or year zero of our calendar. Now, that number, if you remember, was the first number that I mentioned. Now, if you add that to 2242, you get to the 7,000 years. So let's retain this number of 4758 again. Now, on the second chronology, it's from creation to the birth of Christ. And there, by adding all of these numbers, we get a number of 3,408. So we'll retain that number as well. Now, taking the first, the second, we will end up with three numbers, 4758, 3408, and the year zero, which is all adding 2242 is the year 7000, adding 2242 is the year 5650, and 2242. And that's when he said that basically his prophecies will end up. Now, how does he apply that to his prophecy? is that in order to have a code, I search into the quatrain themselves, and to apply numbers, I converted the quatrains in numerical numbers by just taking the original text, French text, and converting each word in a value, like of the spelling, the number of letters in each word. An example will be like Michel will be 6, 6 letters. Nostradamus will be 11. In the next video here, I'm going to show how this applies to a quatrain and how we can decode it to find the exact year or so when that quatrain happened. So that will be my next video here.